Good afternoon, right?
How are you doing?
Not too bad yourself.
Yeah, not too bad. So I'm guessing you saw the meeting agenda, and you know the purpose of the meeting is to discuss a proposal for sustainability policy.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. So I'll just get right into it. So we're trying to develop
yeah,
a sustainability policy for a company called Perth Cleaning. That's based
yeah. You
in
explained earlier.
that's based in Perth, Australia.
Yeah,
And so the purpose of the meeting right now is to sort of come up with some ideas and sort of outline the business strategies in regarding to the sustainability policy in all areas of the Perth cleaning business.
yeah,
Okay, so the policy will outline the commitments and strategies to operate in a more sustainable manner, mainly
yeah,
regarding the environmental sector. So it's going to be an environmental sustainability policy.
yeah,
So the main objectives of the policy is to protect the environment by prevention of pollution,
yeah,
correct processes of waste management,
yeah,
maintenance of the natural and built environment, and complying with all legal legislation, standard policies, and procedures.
yeah,
So, in regards to the laws and regulations and standards, we're going to focus on the following points. So, we have the occupational health and safety laws.
yeah,
In regards to that, we'll focus on safety training and inductions, use, storage, and maintenance of chemicals and equipment,
yeah,
hazardous substance information, as long as there's long latency periods.
yeah,
Secondly, we'll focus on chemical control laws. In regards to that, we'll focus on chemical controls, chemical registers and manifests, industrial regulations, and public health. Thirdly, we'll focus on environmental protection legislation. So, in regards to that, we'll look at things like energy conservation, low environmental impact chemical usage, uh, low moisture cleaning methods, low water use equipment, and water efficient cleaning methods, and non chemical cleaning methods. So far, so good.
yeah.
And lastly, we'll.
So far, I think like your overall draft policy is well thought out. My main point is that we need to do more research to understand what's required to create a good sustainable policy.
Okay.
Sustainability policy. Also, we will need to understand like the easiest way to communicate this policy to all stakeholders involved in the team.
Okay.
In regards to your record keeping process, I think it's a very good idea to store both electronically and physically.
Okay. okay, yeah, I get that. With the communicating to stakeholders, well, I'm gonna develop some KPIs. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna use the following KPIs like as a measure in what all the key stakeholders can look at. So the carbon footprint. This can be used to
yeah,
like qualify the environmental performance of the organization, as carbon is
yeah,
a major output of the business. So the water footprint. So in order to ensure sustainable water use, we're going to develop a water footprint that sets a maximum cap to the water volume that can be allocated to certain tasks that are carried out by the business. In regards to our energy consumption, this can be used to sort of qualify the environmental performance of the organization, as inefficient energy use is a major issue that the environment is facing right now. And lastly,
yeah,
total waste disposal by type and disposal method. So recyclables need to be recycled correctly. Dangerous waste needs to be disposed of correctly. Hazardous waste needs to be disposed of correctly. Lastly, I'm just going to talk about who's responsible for the the policy outcomes. So first of all, the employees, because the employees are the ground workers. They're the ones who do sort of most of all the work at all the client sites. So it's important that they're trained and inducted on all the company policies and procedures, and because they'll be responsible for carrying out all the duties and all the work that for the organization Perth Cleaning. So all employees should sign off on all policies and procedures prior to beginning work at any client location.
yeah,
Secondly, we have the supervisors.
yeah,
Um, These serve as the first contact between the employees and the company, and they're responsible for ensuring that their team members are following the correct policies and procedures. So they lead the workforce, and they are a very important sort of component to the outcome of the new policies and procedures. And lastly, we have the human resource. So these are the guys who are the main part of the main department in the organization of the business. And this department plays the largest role in developing and formalizing the company policies and procedures. So therefore, they determine the possible outcome of the policies because they create the guidelines that should be followed by all the employees and supervisors.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you said already, the record keeping process, since you had it read before, the record keeping process is just everything should be stored electronically and in physical form for a minimum of 5 years, so that any updates to the guidelines, the policies, the procedures, you can just go back and have a look, and you can sort of see what's been affected, whether the company is doing better or worse based on the new policies and procedures. So, do you have any questions at this point?
Yeah, I just have a few. How many policies do you think would be sufficient for sustainability policy?
So far for this environmental sustainability policy, in the draft I've come up with 8 policies. I'm going to make them a bit more detailed and sort of try and capture everything that we talked about in regards to, occupational health and safety, chemical controls, environmental protection, and water management and waste disposal. So I'm going to sort of make sure these 8 policies cover all those aspects that we discussed before, so that everything comes in to be sort of minimal but sufficient for what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah. Absolutely. Also, with the 8 policies, policies discussed, right?
Yeah.
Why have you chosen those as key indicators?
Okay, so carbon footprint, water footprint, energy consumption, and total waste disposal. Because we're a cleaning company, these are literally the main aspects that are involved with our business. So water, we need water to clean, so we need to control how much water we use. The waste that we collect from the client sites, we need to know what's recyclable, what's not, so that we dispose of this waste in the most appropriate manner. And then our carbon footprint is just the total output that comes from our activities, driving the sort of equipment do we use? Do we use electrical equipment? Do we use gasoline powered equipment? So that's our carbon footprint. So we need to do the best that we can just to minimize those. So those can be used as KPIs so that all stakeholders can see how we're affecting the environment, naturally. Is there any other questions at this point?
No, like I said before, the draft policy, in my opinion, is very sufficient. Covers most of the important areas, including the sustainability policy. At this point, there are no more further questions I have for you, and I think you really expressed yourself in a clear manner, so I'm satisfied with the information you put forward.
Okay, all right. Okay, that's good to hear. I'm glad that you understood everything. I think I liked your ideas. I'll probably make a few changes to my draft policy just to incorporate a bit more of your opinion. But yeah, overall,
well expressed.
Yeah. Overall, I think thank you for your time, and yeah, that's it for now. Thank you.
Yeah, anytime. Cheers.
Thank you.
Take care.